Up. I mean, there are some underlying things that we're not really touching on. Is it true that you talk about wanting full custody of your kids?
Have you told her this, or is this the first time she's hearing it?
Welcome back. Jason and Terrell are divorced with a shared custody arrangement. She has the kids 1 week, he gets them the next. Do you think that's a crazy situation to have 1 week away from your kids? Yeah, but it seems to work for them. But please welcome relationship expert Dr. Wendy Walsh. Thank you so much. Hi. And you look lovely on the set here. You match perfectly.
I got the memo about the set color.
Okay, so it's, I mean, we're talking to them. They're such a lovely couple, ex-couple, but they seem to have figured it out.
Well, that's the point, actually. We keep calling them a couple. We keep talking about his ex-wife. Remember that Freudian slip you had there?
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I made a mistake.
If you got, I mean, I just wonder, and I know people at home are thinking this too, if you can be so cooperative when it comes to nurturing your children, why couldn't you have done that for your relationship?
I guess it was at the time a different time in our lives, a different area, jobs for me, living arrangements, things that are not living arrangements, but the location in Minnesota where we actually.
I mean, all that is sort of moot because he moved on and she's okay with that. And so, but it just seems like, I mean, there are some underlying things that we're not really touching on. Is it true that you talk about wanting full custody of your kids?
Well, in a perfect world, I would love to, and I'm
but in a perfect world, they need their mother
as well. Have
you told her this, or is this the first time she's hearing it?
No, we've both at times said that we'd rather have the kids.
It's not all perfect. We threaten it.
It's not that there hasn't been battles or, you know, some not even harsh words, just kind of I wish it was this way, or well, you're going to do that, I'm going to do this, or, you know.
I mean, the fact is it's never going to be perfect because nothing's perfect.
It wouldn't be perfect if we were married.
But how do your children handle this? I mean, they seem pretty well adjusted. Are they okay?
You know, Carter on the way to school the other day, because, you know, we had done all this taping and stuff, and I'm like, Carter, how do you really feel about this? You know, they asked me, how do you feel? And he goes, Mom, you know, it's the only way I know it. It's the way it's been. And they're very accustomed to it. They're not with him all week. I don't go all week without seeing them because it would kill me. In fact,
and you're
I did
close in
summer.
proximity? That's one of the things I wanted to clarify.
They're about 30 minutes away from each other.
Okay,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, and they're with me Wednesday nights. They're with me every morning before school. They're with me every evening after school until he comes to pick them up. So I see them every day. And like he said, if maybe I'm missing them, can they come home or can you drop them off early?
But when you keep saying you're missing them and all that, I want them to stay up late because I want to see them. I wonder if you're putting a lot of sort of expectations on your children. I don't know. I'm not the expert, Wendy.
Because I am hearing about her needs. What I'm hearing a lot here is about their needs more than the kids' needs. Now, it is a reality. You guys are divorced. You're trying to find some way to do it. And we've established here that they found a fairly good way. But asking the kids, now your son said, it's all I know. And that's the reality for many, many American children. That's all they know are two homes. So don't get mad later when we see all these people on the news because they've kept a wife in one house and a wife in another state and they're living compartmentalized because this is what they've trained the brain to know.
They're doing a lot of things right from where I stand.
That's right. And by the way, should we give a major award to her employer? I mean, how much do you love this woman? She lets her bring her kids to work every day.
And she's watching her kids right now.
Her kids right now.
It does take a village. All right,
I got to wear jewelry.
I need to take a quick break, but I wanted to get Areva Martin involved because this whole child support thing, wait. The child support he has to give to her, she gives right back. What's up with that?
Yeah, I think one, like everyone has said, Dr. Wendy and Ricki, you guys are doing a great job. The one thing I would add, though, get it formalized in court. You're working so nicely here today, but we don't know what's going to happen.
So wait, what's not formalized from the courts?
The arrangement, the custody arrangement sounds like they've worked it out, which is good, and I encourage parents to do that. But if it's not in writing, if it isn't formalized by a court order, it doesn't exist. So if you get a new husband and he doesn't like this arrangement or something changes, you know, the old court order is the one that's really in place. So I would just encourage you to do that. And child support, I don't want anyone watching this show to think that, you know, child support is about going after the other parent. Child support is about the children, and it's about providing for the care, you know, the transportation, the housing, the food, the shelter for children. So don't feel bad if you're a mom out there watching this show because you're getting child support. You're entitled to it by law. Get it. Your kids need it. So I just want to make sure.
Thank you. I'm glad we got that out. Take a quick break. When we we come back, we will meet a father who lived in his car for 5 months to be near his twin sons. The story is right after this. Stand up, please, if you would. You have a question for our experts.
I have a 4-year-old daughter, and we have, well, we're in the middle of a divorce, and we have a situation very similar to yours. We share custody, and my question is, do I need to tell my daughter that we're getting a divorce, and when do I need to tell my daughter that we're getting a divorce, and how do I tell my daughter that we're getting a divorce?
So you're already sharing custody?
We're sharing custody, yes.
So she knows you're divorced. I mean, a 4-year-old doesn't understand. No, a 4-year-old doesn't understand the difference between legal marriage and when the divorce papers finally come through. That means nothing to a 4-year-old. A 4-year-old knows that mommy and daddy live in different houses.
Correct.
So I would say be simple, concrete, and honest. And most of all, reassure them you will always have mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy love you so much. Mommy and daddy are never going to leave you. And most important, always underscore that it's not their fault.
And I just want to piggyback on that because we haven't talked a lot about that, but what each parent says to the child is so important. And not talking bad about that other parent and reassuring the child that both parents love them is very important. And when you're in a custody battle and you're standing before a court and a judge is going to want to know that both parents are reinforcing that that child is loved by 2 parents and you're not bad-mouthing that other parent or talking down on them. So that's really important. So I'm glad to hear you're looking for ways to make the transition easy for your child. Very important.
Do you have a theory about it being easier on a child than when they're younger or versus when they're older?
You know, Ricki, in these cases, it's all over the board. We saw this 20-year-old lovely lady, you know, still in tears about her parents' breakup. Some kids just respond very differently. So being open about it, being concrete about what's happening, not sending confusing messages is so important. And keeping those kids out of the legal battle.
And consistent.
Do not put those kids in the middle of that custody battle. Do not do
and
that.
never disparage the other parents. Thank you. Thank you for your question. Good luck to you. We also have one video question from our Friend of Ricki meetup group in Cleveland, Ohio. Take a look at this.
Hi, Ricki. This is Mindy from Cleveland. I'm part of a blended family, and I have a question about how to deal with what feels like constant conflict with my husband and my biological children.
Okay, that's a question. Dr. Wendy, how do you answer that? What are your thoughts?
It's not an evil stepmother, it's an evil stepdad, right, to those kids. This is a very difficult thing. And obviously, she's right to say the conflict is happening with her husband, I hope, not between the kids and him as much. So the 2 parents have to get it together. Whether that means going into couples therapy together, they've got to get on the same page parenting-wise. And it's difficult when you've got kids coming from 2 different households, and now there's a whole new set of rules, but it's got to be uniform in that house.
It is really difficult. You were going to say it, Rita?
I just want to commend the couple that was on earlier talking about how they worked out their own plans. You can work out your own custody plan and go into court and say, look, Your Honor, we figured out how we want to do this, and this is in the best interest of our kids, and our kids are thriving. And the court looks for parents to take as much responsibility as possible to work it out on their own. So again, kudos to you for working it out.
I want to actually give kudos to all of the people that were on the panel today, all of our guests sharing their very intimate details about their marriages and failed marriages and their kids. So they are touching a chord with everyone. I want to thank Rita Martin for being here, and Dr. Wendy Walsh, thank you so much. It was really a pleasure to have you here and great advice. For more information on how to navigate the world of divorce, log on to therickilakeshow.com. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you.